Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Talent You Should Know, where we focus on the entertainment industry on a different level. Not only will there be artist and actor interviews of known and unknown talent, but insight into the team behind them that helps them build their brand. Each week, we'll tackle a different person in the industry with talents in their own rights. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Talent You Should Know with Zag. Today, we have an extremely talented hip-hop artist, Keema Patra. How are you today?
Hey, I feel great. I feel amazing, and I'm super honored to be a part of this interview with you guys. Thank you for asking.
Yes. Let me tell you something about how I love your nails already. I'm like, I get my nails done every 2 weeks.
Yes.
That's everything.
Yes, thank you so much. This girl, Lola Moore, she's located in Mount Vernon. Really dope.
I used to live in Mount Vernon. I was actually out there in February, funny enough.
Nice.
So let's get to it. Let's talk about how you started.
Okay, so I started off doing music about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Originally, I was a poet, so I was just going to open mic showcases, just showing off my talent. And people would come up to me like, you should turn your poetry into music. And I'm like, I'll give it a try, Once I started, getting into the studio, started getting accustomed to it. Yeah. My song I actually didn't drop, but my first song that I did release did so well that, it motivated me to, oh, yeah, I got to keep going, Yeah. And from there, it was just I already had a passion for writing and rhyming and things of that nature. So from there, it became this. Yeah. We are.
So where are you from originally? Are you from New York originally?
Yes, I'm originally from New York, Brooklyn, New York, actually. Bedstuy is the neighborhood. That's where I'm from. Bedstuy, spread the love.
All right. It's interesting. The last couple of artists that I really enjoyed have been from Brooklyn. I did, Dev A.B. and Hollywood YSA. You know what I mean? So, nice. So much talent coming out, there. Sure. So, Syph Boogie. Anyway, so nice. Let's talk about just who inspires you. I know you're from Brooklyn, and a lot of great, like we said, hip hop artists have come out of there. So let's talk about who inspired you.
Well, I've been inspired by multiple different artists. I would say a lot of what I grew up on was a lot of old school music. So Lauryn Hill, those type of lyricists that were from up back in the day that didn't really necessarily curse in their music, and all their music had messages, you know what I mean? But also the vibes Notorious B.I.G. and Kim in that era, that was definitely an inspiration to me, just it was just raw, a vibe. And right now in this era, I would say Nicki, of course. Nicki inspired me. Travis Scott was a big inspo to me. Yeah. Lil Uzi, definitely in top 5. I can't name them all off the bat right now, but
I can see you just kind of mix them all together, and it's so interesting because everyone has their thing. There are a bunch of hip hop artists, but everyone has something that makes them unique, Mm-hmm. And even when I look at you and I've looked at some of your videos and your photos, what I like is that you you wear wigs and but even when you change your look, you embody whatever this is. Right? It is. It's you're not just throwing it on and walking out in the street why the hell is she wearing that, right? It's if it's serious, if it's dark or black or whatever, then that's kind of where you're going with it. If it's blonde or purple or whatever it is, it's more playful. I really, really like that because that's not easy to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when it comes down to looks and fashion, like I usually have like a set, you know what I mean? A set look that I go for, and I just put it together, you know? For example, like this hairstyle, I did this myself, actually. I colored it, installed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When it was fresh, it looked a lot better, you know what I'm saying? But for right now, when I put it on, and I was honestly rushing, but I knew the outfit that I had was playful. So I'm like, you know, like tomboyish in a sense. So I'm like, let me do something cute, playful, you know, like, and I put the braids. I was
thinking that same thing when I saw it. I said, it's so playful. Like, okay, keep going.
Yeah, so you know, like as soon as I know what look I'm gonna wear, and then it's like honestly, like my wigs are like hats to me. Like I'm gonna put this hat on.
Right.
This goes with my outfit. This goes with, you know, the aesthetic of today. So that's literally what it comes down to. That's how I feel when it comes to my hair. Like I'm just like I'm gonna go with whatever I'm wearing.
Yeah, but I like how it comes off. So because. Yeah, not everyone can do that. So, like, I've tried to throw on a wig before, and, you know, my daughter looked at me like, ma'am, calm down. Just, it's about,
You're not tell you anything. They'll be so wrong. They'll tell
you down. So, what is it that you most enjoy about this, about hip hop, about, you know, your artistry?
What I enjoy most is like seeing the reactions, seeing how my music moves people or how people relate to it, or, you know, just like people feeling good off of it. Like that's my energy. I feel good and I want to project that out into the world. And if I see people feeling that off of my music, it's a different feeling for me. It makes me so happy, especially performing, bobbing along and they're having fun. I'm like, yes, like we're all having, I'm having fun. We have fun together, and it's great. It's great, honestly. Just knowing that I have the power to change the world with my words, you know, it's a different feeling.
And you don't realize it because it's like at first, because you're like, all right, I'm going through this,
and it's as it's happening, you know, you don't really. Sometimes until you have people ask you these type of questions, or when you sit down and you're looking so much, because most of the time us artists, we're always looking so far ahead. We're always looking at what's next. And sometimes when you sit down and you turn around and you realize like the trail you've left so far, it's like, wow, like I've done this, like, and remembering where you started from, it's also surreal, you know?
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
I loved, so like just even from when you started to now, like watching your evolution, like I remember like your dripping. I thought your flow on that was like so hard. Like that was probably one, like flow wise, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
What I thought was beautiful, Distraction.
Thank you.
And you said trying to find my passion, but you're a distraction.
Yes.
The version, I think I listened to it on SoundCloud, and that was the one where you mentioned working on poetry. That was my practice, right?
But the rap gonna put me on Atlas. Oh, for real. And that's really telling y'all from the beginning, like that was my first song that I put out, you know? So so like that was just me telling everybody from the beginning, like this is my step into the world, and from here on out I don't need any distractions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just how it's been, honestly. I when I hear my music sometimes from the past, and I'm in whatever situations that I be going through, I'm like, yo, like I be listening to myself tell myself, like, yo.
I do that. I do that.
And sometimes I just really sit there and I'm like, yo, like you already know the answers to your questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another one I liked in Element, when you said I came from sleeping on floors to reaching the stars, and then PTSD got me tweaking, fighting all of these demons. And I know that, like, I know sleeping on floors, like with my daughter, hoping that it gets better. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. Different, you know, when you have a passion and you have a drive and you you know you have a purpose in life. Like, when you're in those situations, you know that it's going to get better. You know what I mean? And it's all about your mindset. Like, I've been through the worst of situations. I've defeated a lot of demons, you know? When I was going through those experiences, I knew it was like, you know, hard and et cetera, but I always had that drive. Like, I'm still gonna, even when I was sleeping on the floor, I was still going to showcases. I was still going outside networking. I still had a job that I was working, like a 9-to-5 kind of job. And I'm going to work, and I'm on the trains on my way to work, spitting poetry, like trying to make extra cash on the side. Like, it was just like a hustle. At that point in my life, like, I feel like that's when I went the hardest. When you have nothing, it's like you go the hardest. You know what I mean? Like, and that's it. But I still keep that same drive, that same motivation. You know, comfortability should never change your outlook on life, you know? But yeah, just being in those situations, it made me feel like, yo, I got it. Like, I gotta get it. I never felt defeated. I never felt defeated, you know? And that's I never had to defeat it. So yeah. Go ahead.
Because you can let it eat you. You know what I mean? Like, you can let it get to you and be like, I'm never gonna get out of this. And it's like you said, as an artist, and just, you have to look at what is to come. Not what your circumstances are right now. You know what I mean? Because you'll trap yourself there, for real. You know?
Exactly. Some people get lost, like literally lost. They drown in their, you know, their misfortunes. And every L is a lesson, you know? Every L is a lesson. And it should, for me, it was like, I'm here and I will never be here again. How am I going to make sure that happens? You know, and some people, they're there and they're like, this is my reality, and it's like, no, you know, you have to change your circumstances at all times, you know, at any time, and no matter a year or a month or, you know, however long it takes, you still gotta, you know, keep that drive, keep that motivation to get the funk that you in. So that's just how I looked at it, how I took it, and reaching the stars, you know, like now. Much better position in life, you know, and I have the ability to put myself in even better positions, but I just want to make sure that everything that I got going on right now, especially with music, you know, like I'm these building blocks they're cement, you know what I mean? Like they're concrete, like, so I'm just very happy with my life and everything that I have going on for myself. Even I'm happy what I went through, you know, to get here, because you know, it humbles you. It puts you in a position to know that, like, yo, I've been here before, so I would never, you know, never talk down on anybody in those positions. I never feel any type of way, because I know it happens to the best of us.
Let me tell you something. I've been evicted. I've had my lights shut off, and to this day, since then, the first two things I pay are my rent and my light bill.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. It'll definitely teach you, and that's it. Every day is a lesson. That's it.
And what I said, I love how, I even wrote it down. I said, I love how motivated you are, because it's authentic. You know what I mean? This isn't like something that's not passionate for you, and it's not something like, well, if I don't do this, then da-da-da-da-da. It's like, no, I really have something to say. This is what I'm doing. This is how I eat, right? One thing I wanted to ask you about is with Flashy, it seemed like your flow changed a little bit. What inspired that?
Honestly, and it's so crazy that you say that, when I recorded Flashy, I was actually in Atlanta. So I was already on a different frequency than, you know, me being in New York, me being from New York. So I guess I just felt like I wanted to switch it up, and I was in the studio with this all, you know, like it just came out that way. It just came. Maybe it was the change of environment, you know?
I know. I feel that sometimes, like, even when I'm in, like, if I'm in California, or right now I'm in Denver, but I'm originally from the East Coast, from New York and New Jersey. Like, so when I get home, it's different, you know? So I get that, like, how when you go different places, it kind of like you morph into, you know, you feel
different. Exactly. But yeah, that was actually was definitely a show off song, you know, like I was I was feeling myself for sure. And like I said, I love to make that kind of music for fans that, you know, feel that way too, you know? Like they listen to it and they feel empowered. So I'm really about that you brought that up.
Yeah. It was cool. What was also cool, so NWO, here's what was kind of funky about it, because it had, and I don't know if this will make sense to you because we're creative people, it had an out of this world feel to it. Do you know what I mean when I'm saying that? It felt really, really different. And I like that it was kind of like a mix between hip hop and like a song. You know what I mean? It was like meshing it together. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was like the ending, right? It has like a singy kind of vibe to it. And then the beginning is like a rap, like, you know, intense kind of vibe. It was like, honestly, when I go to the studio, sometimes I just, after, like, say I have something written and like maybe I'll have like the first verse written and then I'll do the hook again and then I'll do the next part like off freestyle, like just off the top. And that was something that I believe came off the top. Like it was just like I just be in a vibe, like I'm up in a hill, like over here. It just be a vibe. It really just be, honestly.
I love. What surprised you the most? Like since you started your journey?
Surprise. Let me see. What surprises me the most? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like sometimes I surprise myself. Like when I realize the capacity that I have, you know what I mean? Like the things that I withhold that when I let it out, it's like, yo, I didn't even know that was in me, you know? Sometimes I feel that yo, it's different. And also just surprising me still to this day is just like how much people gravitate towards the energy that I carry, you know? Like when I realize like people come up to me and they're like, I swear, every time I do a performance or every time I'm like somewhere, people come up to me and they're like, yo, I need you here or I need you there. And next thing you know, I'm in Cali. Next thing you know, I'm in Philly. Next thing you know, I'm in Georgia. Next thing you know, I'm in Atlanta. And it's like, it's also surreal. Like, it's also, I'm of course, you know, I'm still fresh to it, but I'm getting accustomed to it. But this is still the beginning for me. So.
It's a genuine vibe, and I like, you know that I post your music and that kind of stuff because I feel like this really is just the beginning for you. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, for real. I do.
So, what do you want for the future?
I want success. I want to change the world. I want peace, you know, even though it may sound like a basic, you know, answer, but honestly, like I'll be at peace with myself once I know I've accomplished all the things that I wanted to, you know what I mean? Like just, it's, when I really sit down and think about it, honestly, it's like I keep moving forward, and I do have goals, but I know that I don't want to set goals to where I'm setting boundaries for myself, if you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like I don't want to have like a cutoff, like, oh yeah, I want to win a Grammy and I want to do this. Like, no, like there's 10 Grammys out there for me, you know, like it's anything is possible. Like and Pop Smoke said, aim for the stars, you know, shoot for the stars, aim for the moon, you know. And I know that there's so much out there for me. I don't want to give myself, like I said, a cutoff, you know. Like this is what I'm going for, but I know honestly what I want to do is give back as well. Like my main goal is to, you know, definitely become a multimillionaire and be able to put something in my communities that people can go to and find their release, their talent. Because honestly, music and poetry, all of that was just a release for me, you know, something that I use as an outlet. And I want to be able to give people that inspiration to find the outlet as well, you know, and use their outlet for good. You know, like there's people who they have this energy inside of them, but they don't know how to use it. You know what I mean? They don't know for positivity. That's why you have gang violence. That's why you have, you know, black on black crimes, all of these things that's going on in our communities, because nobody's guiding these people. Nobody's directing them in the sense of, yo, you can use this for creativity. You can use this for, you know, building something or whatever it may be. But I know that I want to make it so that I can give back. And I also want to make, like I said, be a multimillionaire to just build brands and businesses, have hands in different companies, and just also, especially fashion world, like I know I want to be someone iconic. I am someone iconic, but I want to be someone that people will put on their mood boards already. Like,
that's dope. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I've never heard that, but I love it. That shoot, I'll put that. You know what? Let me update my mood board. But you know what's crazy is you said something. It reminded me of that Jay-Z song, "Say Hello," and he said, "We doing crime because we ain't doing fine." You know, one out of three of us is likely doing time. You know what I mean? And it's just like.
But that's literally all it is. When you really sit there and think about it, like the only reason why our communities are the way they are and we're so broken is because there's no guidance. There's no real. And then people are turning to, and then this is why a lot of the times in my music, I don't like to, promote things that are negative. That's why a lot of my music is uplifting, because when people turn on their music, you hear, oh, this person killing this person, or I will shoot this person. And this is what gets people going. Like they're going outside and this is what they're listening to first thing in the morning. And then it's like, now what do you expect your day to be like? You know what I mean? Go ahead. That's necessarily what needs to be done. Like somebody to come in and take the reins and really show. And even Jay-Z is a great example of exactly what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Like I said, have hands in different brands and different businesses and give things in our communities to give back to people, to have places for people to go to and release. Like it's necessary.
It's so funny you said that about like just pulling in the reins and everything and people waking up to certain kinds of music, because I remember as my son he's 18 now, but I think it was like 16 and he's like, starting to feel hip hop a little bit. He was listening to something in the morning and I came and I said, that's not even your life. I was like, I said, I didn't raise you anywhere near where any of this shit happens. So turn it off. I'm like, we live in the suburbs right now.
and that needed to, like, that's really the tea. Like, a lot of these people are going hard. And even some of these rappers, they're rapping about it, and it's not really happening in their lives. It's not really lifestyle. Like, it's real, though. I'm not gonna lie, it's real out here. Like, I'm glad you said that. Like, that's
no, I check him hard because I know that life, and I know people who live that life. And what I want for him, I want him to listen to hip hop, which he does now, and he appreciates where these people have come from, not in a sense to emulate some of the things, but to understand where they came from and how they got out of that, right? And the business mind that it takes to do that. And that's kind of what he's looking at. So I love, and the talent. But when he first started listening to something, it was like corny shit too. I was like, I need you to stop, and we need to sit down. I'll give you a list. I promise. Like, but this ain't.
Nah, understand that and feel that. Like, it's surreal to know that there's people out there that will remind people, like, listen, this is not it. This is not you.
So EP album. What's going on next? What's coming?
What's coming? So I'm actually going to be dropping the music video for Shine this Sunday. And after that, I will be releasing a new single, doing a visual for that as well. And then after the next single, you can definitely expect the EP.
That is, how do you feel about that? Like, just having...
I'm excited. I'm super excited, and I'm very happy because honestly, I haven't released any projects, any bodies of work as of yet, and I've gotten so much traction, and I'm just ready. I'm ready for the world to hear like a body of work by me, because once that comes out, there's gonna be a guaranteed hit single. And whenever someone drops a single, you like the artist or whatever, you go check them out, and then you go and you find out that the single is on a project. You listen to the project, you like, hold on,
right?
Think about you is just fire. So I'm ready for it to happen, and I'm ready for the world to see my creativity, because it's gonna be different. It's definitely going to be something that you guys never heard before, you never seen before visually. And I'm just excited. I'm super excited.
That, you know what's crazy is like, and it's not crazy though, but I don't expect anything less when you say it's something that you've never seen before, because even when I look at like your past videos, like even the video, was it Distraction? I don't know. It looked like you were looking through, I was looking through one of those 3D glasses. What video was that?
3D glasses.
It was like an older video. It was like one of your first ones. Was it Drippin'?
Well, my first Distraction, then you have Drippin', and then you have Vengeance. You also have...
It might have been Distraction, because it was kind of like distorted. It looked like I was in a TV or something like that. I don't know.
It could be Distraction, or it might be one of those.
But all of your videos are like super unique, so I'm excited. When that one comes out, I think are you gonna do a Reels for it so I can put it on my stories and stuff?
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you for coming on. I want to know if there's anything else that I didn't touch on that you think that people should know about you.
Just know I'm coming. Just know I'm coming. Just know that Keema Patra is going to be a household name. Your son, your daughter might have my poster in their room, okay?
Right. Talk about it.
KP.
Yes.
KP. Say it 3 times so that you know. You know what I'm saying?
So where can everyone find you? Tell us everything.
You can find me on all streaming platforms. Anywhere you want to find me, just type in Keema Patra, KeemaPatra, KPKP. That's it.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed this.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Talent You Should Know. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well as leave a review. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.